Okay, before we start, I have some things I need to tell y'all. The first is I've been watching a lot of Buddhist related videos, especially I think the series is called Buddhism in English. And one of the things that the monk suggests is to write gratitude lists of things that you are grateful for because, life sometimes can get us down, but it is important to show gratitude for, you know, the all this good stuff that we have. And I was thinking of things to write down because I try and write down at least 5 a day of things that I'm grateful for. And I decided to write down subscribers, and that means you guys. So thank you so much for, subscribing and commenting and all of that. And then also, I this is kind of a review, but kind of a different kind of review, I guess. It's not a typical review that I normally do, but just keep watching and you'll see it'll be kind of exciting and different. So, on with the video. Okay, this is a sort of review, sort of talk about the book In the Buddha's Words by Bhikkhu Bodhi. And this is discourses from the Buddha and different stories and different things that he said over his life. And I got this free a couple months ago on Audible and decided to give it a listen. And when you listen to it, it is kind of boring. I hate to say that. It's kind of like the Bible. You wouldn't listen to the Bible, it's boring. So it is kind of boring to listen to all the way through. But I can see how maybe if because I got this on Audible, so I'm using the audio version, but I did have the print version once upon a time. But I can see how you can choose a certain passage from this particular book and use it, as sort of the Bible for Buddhism, and getting an inspirational text or story from it. Because it's basically what this is. It's Buddhism's. Uh, it could be used as like Buddhism's holy book, even though he lived in a time when people didn't really write things down as much. Um, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. I did read it a long time ago and found it interesting when I read it back then. And really interesting, funny story. I was in a Buddhist group a few years ago during the COVID pandemic, and the guy that was running it, actually used this book, um, like Christian groups would have a Bible study. We had a Buddhism book study, and he used that exact book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I used to have that. And then I found out it was free on Audible. Okay, anyway, and also it was funny, we were talking about how we discovered Buddhism and came to Buddhism, and it was really interesting. There were a lot of Catholics there that left Catholicism and then came to Buddhism. Um, there's was me that is kind of atheist Buddhist, and then there's him and the guy that was running it, and he joked. He's probably in his 50s, and he joked that if he didn't discover Buddhism, he would be a crotchety old man telling people to get off his lawn. And that Buddhism helped him. Maybe he had a problem with anger, and Buddhism, the teachings of the Buddha, helped him, or Buddhist monks helped him. I don't know. Um, but I just found that really interesting. And I think that the Buddhist, even though he spoke a long time ago, a lot of the things that we're going through is still important. The things that were happening then are still important to reflect on, and I think it's really relevant to what's going on now with all the division and all the weird stuff going on. I think we can find a lot with Buddhist wisdom and things like that. And I think this would be a really good book to read or listen to, when you get up in the morning and you're having your cup of coffee, or in my case it's tea. I try and listen to something inspirational when I'm doing that. But to read it cover to cover, I mean, I believe I did it back in the day, but um, I found it kind of boring on Audible. But Audible has really gotten a lot better with uh, telling what each chapter is, because before it used to say like track 1, track 2, track 3, but now it actually tells you like chapter 1 and stuff like that. So that's easier to find things if you're looking for a specific passage in this particular book. Um, so this is just a quick video of of this particular book, and I hope that you are all doing well. And remember to have gratitude for the things in your life. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.